All right, welcome back. We continue live right here on Pittsburgh CW. Bob Pompeani, Gene Collier with you. Yes, there was an OTA in Oakland, and Antonio Brown did not partake. Now, the Raiders said they were okay with that because it is a voluntary situation. Yes, that's true. But, Gene, last year he missed a lot of it because of, quote, media pressure he felt here in Pittsburgh, which started this whole bizarre season that we've seen. So, still, to me, if I'm the prize pickup of this offseason, which he is,
Yep.
Don't you think it's important for him to be there?
To you.
Maybe he was tweeting too much. He could have been.
Well, he's very busy. Business is booming.
Is it?
Yeah, you got to have a new nickname every couple of weeks. That doesn't come easy, Bob. Yeah, thankfully it is voluntary, and it's voluntary for Le'Veon Bell to be with the Jets. But I guess just because you shell out tens of millions of dollars, that doesn't really come with the expectation that your employees will show up.
As far as the Steelers are concerned, they got things rolling, and you can tell it's kind of a new beginning for them. So that's good. Ben Roethlisberger says he's going to participate in a lot of these, and there are a lot of reasons for that because there are a lot of new guys around, and he needs to get acclimated with them, which he has already done that with a lot of guys down in his Georgia home. But it's good to see that all the leaders were there, and it seems like they are recommitted. And I think they went through an interesting learning experience last year when no one thought they'd go from 7-2-1 to missing the playoffs. But that's exactly, and sometimes it hits home very hard, and it has with this team.
Yeah, I mean, they're a team that is in need of all the camaraderie they can muster, all the chemistry, whatever you want to call it. So to whatever extent that can happen in OTAs, that's good for them.
All right, let's go to the lines. They're hopping tonight, and we'll begin with Bob in Clearfield. Bob, go ahead. You're up.
Hi, gentlemen. Let's take a moment. Just, I said Chris Archer did not lose 19 games 4 years ago because of lack of run support. He lost it because of what you see today, a career-long inability to put a ball in the bottom half of the strike zone. He either bounces it up there or he's throwing it outside, and it began to question whether or not it was his decision to get him. He said was a matter of poor scouting may have entered into this matter. So that's how I see it, and thanks very much.
All right. Gene, again, this trade is going to be viewed very pessimistically by Pirate fans, and rightfully so, not so much because of what they gave up, although that hurts, but still, if it was a good return, and he did lose 19 games. And if you watch, control has been somewhat of an issue, but when he's on, he's really good. So. Yeah,
I mean, I have no inclination to blame Pirate scouting on this. Everyone makes mistakes in that area, but I agree that he does not seem to have any command, particularly in the lower part of the strike zone.
All right, back to the lines. We'll go to line 5. Ernest in Monroeville. Ernest, you're up right here on the Sports Call. Go ahead.
How you doing, Bob? Jane, how you both?
Hey,
like
good.
the show.
Thank you.
Listen, as far as Archer, do you think the Pirates need to send him down to the minors because he has his mechanics are off, and let him do something in the minors? And there's a pitcher sitting out there, Houston, if I'm not mistaken. They won't sign him because they don't want to spend money. But they're bouncing around all these pitchers and all this, and they need the pitchers that they're bringing out. They're not doing the job. Some of the relievers are not doing it. And they also need to get them a third baseman that can.
Well, they underestimated what they were going to get out of Gung, and he's on the injured list right now, and he's not been good when he has been healthy. Thanks for the call. I disagree with your first point. You can't do that. This is a team that needs guys to stretch it out right now. They have no healthy pitchers, and the ones who are healthy need to give them more than 5 innings. So, no, they can't send him down, Gene. I don't care what the situation. He can work it out here.
Let me phrase it to you this way, Bob. How many starts like tonight is Chris Archer away from leaving the rotation?
Leaving the rotation?
Yeah.
None. I still got to put him out there. I'm sorry. They got too much for him. He needs to work it out, and I wouldn't even do that. No. Would you?
I would say he's got one more start. I think if he puts...
And you're going to put him where?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to put him in the bullpen. I don't know if he has options, minor league options. He's working his way toward being an opener, if you will.
Wow. Interesting. But, I mean, they need him to be what he... At least,
they need it. But
and the thing is, we saw in that last outing, he went and retired 10 up, 10 down after the first inning, which was not a good inning, but he was coming off the injured list, and he struck out the side in the second. I mean, you see glimpses of what he should be, but it's not been consistent enough.
Yeah. I know what they need, but it doesn't look like he's it. You can't lose a game every fifth game. Send somebody out there that you're pretty sure is going to lose. You can't do that. They're 1-6 now when he starts.
I know, and that's got to change, but I'm not giving up on him. I gave up too much. He needs to do it, and he's been there. He has to just work through it. Ken in Greensburg. Hey, Ken, welcome to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Oh, hi, Bob. Hi, Gene.
Hey.
Hey, what about having Liriano start again, based on his success as a reliever, and just maybe substitute switch roles with Archer? Just based on.
Well, they mean him in addition to Archer. That's the thing, and the only thing about that, though, I'll say, is that they like him where he is, and without Kella. Gene, do you have any idea when he's coming back, by the way?
I thought that Keller was making good progress, that, I would expect him to be back in a week or 10 days. And as for Liriano, I mean, that seems to make sense. I just don't know whether he can be stretched out to be, if he's capable. I don't know if he's capable of starting at this point.
Our next destination would be Altoona, PA. We have Clint on the line. Hello, Clint. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing? Hey, real quick before I wanted to ask Bob you an NBA question, but I was sort of happy that Rich Rodriguez was finally sent down because I sort of got excited the one night he came in. It was 6-0, and I'm like, well, at least Clint Hurdle's putting him in a game they had out of hand there. But he turned around and put him in the other game. They were up 2-1. He gave up a 3-run home run.
Right.
That lost that game. But my main question for you, Bob, was now with Golden State already in the finals, and looks like Toronto's going to tie up the series with Milwaukee, and I think that the East has the home court. Without Durant, do you see Golden State winning it all? Because this would be the first time in the 5 years now that they would have to start on the road. Toronto's still pretty good, Kawhi Leonard and everything. I think Milwaukee still has an overall better team and a better chance of beating Golden State. But what do you think of the, about that?
No, Clint, I would tell you that I just don't think any team can match up with Golden State. What I saw them do in Portland in a 4-game series to that team, that's a good team with some good guards. And even without Durant and Boogie Cousins and Andre Iguodala last night, the 3 core guys who've been there through this entire 5-year stretch, and by the way, it is 5 straight finals, which hasn't been done since the 1960s or 70s. Yeah. And it's been Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, and those guys are still playing very well. They're getting contributions from other guys off the bench. It's too deep a team. Even without Durant, Golden State will win. It may be a tighter series without him, but they're going to win. Do you think?
I think they're going to win, yeah.
See? Whatever Gene goes and says normally happens. Nostradamus. We'll take a break, come back with more. 412-575-2600 right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.